Welcome back to Grizzlies. My name is Neil Rule here with Coach Kampe at Chrysler Arena after falling to the number 7 Michigan Wolverines. And Camp, as we say sometimes, the horses got out of the barn a little bit tonight.
Yeah, it was 14-10, and I guess they went 20-0,
Yeah.
and it was in a couple of minutes. And it was. I think the best way I can describe it is we have a lot of really good players. The sensei rule of limiting roster is put us in a situation. We only had 8 healthy bodies that were capable to play today, and I knew that was going to hurt us eventually. But we could not simulate for a bunch of our guys that have never played in this environment against that type of ability and that type of team this early in the year. We couldn't simulate their speed and their size in practice. And now we got to see it live, and we realized what we got to do, And I thought that as the game went on, I saw some things I really liked. The transition defense in the first half was just, really, really bad. We fixed that. I think we fixed that. And the only way you're going to fix it is to see it and learn from it and get better. And that's what these games are supposed to do for us. I thought that Isaac really settled down. In the first half, he was a wide-eyed, young man that had never been in this environment or in a game like this before. And he had a really, really poor first half, and then he came back and had a great second half, ended with 20 points. He only had 1 rebound, which, we need him to be an 8 to 10 a game rebounder. And then I thought that, I thought Baru, he belongs out here. He played a really, really solid game. And then Brody Robinson, I thought, was really, really good. And then the rest of us kind of were just feeling our way. Coy's feeling his way. He'd never been in this environment. He did a great job of understanding and improving as the game went on. They all. I thought Zaire did a nice job, scored up some points for us. He learned, at the level he played at, he could just get into the rim and score. When you're playing against 7'3" and 6'10" and 6'11", you got to come to a 2-footed stop and shot fake and things like that. And so he learned that. We had a bunch of shots blocked, and they learned all those things. This is what could happen when you play a team. And I'm going to tell you something. Michigan's really good.
Camp, that's the takeaway,
really
yeah.
And they had a great game. They had their shooting A+ game. They had, they played great, and you just got to give that to them. And sometimes you tip your hat and say great. But I think we picked ourselves up well. I lose by 40, and you sit there and say, I don't think we played that poorly. I don't think we did. I saw a lot of really good things, and I'm not happy with the way it went, but I'm pleased that we're walking out of here, and I think we have a better understanding of things, and I have a better understanding of my guys. And we get Michael back and we get Warren back. I really like us.
I thought once you guys got it together a little bit there, the offensive attack was very diverse too. Isaac showed he can score in the post in a multitude of ways, and obviously Baru knocked down 3 threes. You saw some things here tonight. You did.
We scored over a point of possession against a top 10 team in the country on the road in a hostile environment. And so, I'm pleased with that. That's one of the few takeaways I had. We scored more than a point of possession, and we ran good offense. A bunch of the stuff we did, we got open looks. Michigan last year was one of the top 25 defensive teams in the country. And they're big, they're strong, they rebound, and they do the things that good defensive teams do. And again, it's early, so I'm sure they're saying the same thing, that we got some wide open looks and ran some good stuff because it's early and they hadn't seen us, and a lot of the stuff we did we haven't done before. So I'm sure they've got reasons for that too, but we did it. So I'm pleased with that. I really am. I'm not walking home upset thinking I'm wrong. This is not a good team. I think we're a really good team. I think we're going to be a really good team.
Sometimes you're not going to walk back today, right, Camp? I know you did the half marathon and stuff like that. You're gonna ride back home, right?
I'm going to drive my car back
Yeah.
home. It's a little bit too far. 45 miles is a little bit too far tonight. But I do walk home from the game against Michigan State at Little Caesars.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Camp. Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you at Purdue. #1 team in the nation coming up next. So
Looks good.